God is warning you, do not move without him. Listen, this video is for someone who is trying their hardest to get out of their situation in their own strength because you've been praying, you've been waiting on God, and it seems like God is taking a long time. God is warning you, my sister and brother, do not move without him. Do not. Too many of us are trying to make things happen in our own strength, rushing ahead of God, or letting the enemy whisper in your ear, whisper thoughts that push us into pride and bad decisions. If you have been feeling pressured to move fast and prove yourself, this word is specifically for you. So please heed the warning of God. We live in a world today that tells us to hustle, to make it happen, to grind, and to focus on doors being open in our own strength, more so to force doors open. But the danger is this. When we move outside of God's timing, we end up carrying burdens we were never meant to carry. And so Proverbs 3, 5, and 6 tells us to trust in the Lord with all of our hearts and lean not on our own understanding, but in all of our ways acknowledge God. And He alone will make our path straight. We don't have to try to do it in our own strength. And that's what many of us are doing right now. So if you've been feeling the pressure to just do it yourself because God is taking too long, I need you to pause. Pause. This may be God protecting you right now through this video. Because listen, God sees what we don't see. God sees what I don't see. But you right there, somebody on the other end of this, you are trying to do it in your own strength because you feel like the delay is God's denial. You feel like, listen, I got to make this happen, God. I'm going to get evicted. God, I got to make this happen because I don't have a job. And you know what you're going to do? You're going to get yourself in trouble. Because the enemy loves to plant little thoughts like, you can handle this. You don't need to wait on God. Just make it happen. Or he'll use people to provoke us. Why are you still waiting to get married? Why are you still waiting to have a child? Child, your clock is running out. You're getting old. You should have been did this by now. You should have been further along. But remember, Satan got kicked out of heaven because of his pride, and he's trying to do the same thing to you and I. And that same spirit is trying to push us to step out of alignment with God. Maybe you're waiting on a promotion. But instead of trusting God, you start calling, cutting corners, calling connects, trying to, push yourself into the position. You're trying to get noticed. Or maybe in a relationship, you push it forward before God confirms it, and you end up with heartbreak. Listen, God sees that you and that person maybe aren't ready for marriage yet. God sees there's things that he's still working out in you. So why are you trying to rush yourself into marriage? Think about it. You send that text or that email out in frustration, and then automatically the moment you press send, you regret it. You invest money in something that God never told you to touch. Then the stress over the loss, the resources that you lost, is burdening or weighing you down. Or you try to prove your worth to people who don't care nothing about you, but yet you trying to prove your worth to them instead of resting in what God has already said about you, that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. He loves you just the way you are. You were created in his image. You don't have anything to prove to people. So why are you trying to prove? Because even when you prove that you're valuable and you're a boss and, I can have a child, I can get married, all they're going to do is talk about you. I mean, honestly, what do you see people doing every day? They gossip. So God is warning you in this, my sister and brother. If you move too fast and you get ahead of him, you'll miss what he was setting up in the background. God is working out your breakthrough. God is working out confirmation for the promise that he gave you. Psalms 27:14 says, wait for the Lord. Be strong and take heart and wait for the Lord. Wait, it doesn't mean nothing is happening. It means that God is building something stronger than you can see right now. The Bible tells us that just shall walk by faith and not by sight. So why, just because you don't see God moving or nothing is happening, you trying to rush things, you're trying to get ahead of God. Your strength will fail, my sister and brother, but his strength never fails. His strength will never fail you. The blessing he gives comes with peace, not with pressure. So stop trying to force it. So here's the warning that God is sending to you through this video because he loves you. Don't let your pride or the pressure or the enemy's gentle whispers push you ahead of God. Trust in his timing. Surrender your plans to him, because when it's his move, when it's his doing, you won't have to force it. You'll have peace about it. You won't have loss. You won't have strife. You won't have all the things that pressure us, because when we move in our own strength, there's so much pressure behind it. So Father, I ask that you will forgive us. Forgive us for the times that we try to do things in our own strength. We try to make things happen by our own hustling and bustling. Lord, quiet every voice that isn't from you. Give us, your children, the patience to wait on your timing, God, and the humility to walk in your will. I'm asking you, God, to strengthen us, because, God, our situations look pressing. We look like we're running out of time. But I'm asking you, Father, to forgive each and every one of us. I'm guilty myself of trying to get ahead of God. I'm guilty of trying to force things to happen in my own strength, because I want them to happen. We live in a fast-paced society, a fast food society. We go to the restaurant, we place an order. What happened? It comes out quickly. But yet when we pray, God seems delayed. God, there's pressure to perform. There's pressure that we needed to happen today. Some things are pressing. And the things that God knows are pressing, he works through those. So stop trying to force it, my sister and brother. You are only making things worse. So God has a warning for you. Stop trying to make things happen in your own strength. He sees your need. He sees you. He is Elroy, the God who sees. You got to know, fear not, for God is with you. Be not dismayed, for he is your God. Remember Psalms 23. He is our shepherd. He wants to lead and guide us to safe pastures. But when you're getting ahead of him and you're trying to force it, and you're listening to the whispers of the enemy telling you don't have to wait on God, you can make that happen. God knows. He sees that situation is pressing. All you do is frustrate yourself. All you do is cause unnecessary pressure. That's where we get heart attacks. That's where we get strokes. That's where we get high blood pressure. That's where we get all these medical conditions we cause for ourselves, because we're trying to make things happen in our own strength. The enemy will always try to rush you, to pressure you, and to even use pride to push you out of God's will. But today, my sister and brother, heed the warning of God. God is reminding you to wait on his timing and trust in his plan. Listen, I just come to encourage you and tell you and to warn you of what God is saying in this moment. So please remember, be patient and wait on God. They that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up on wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. Remember Proverbs 3, 5 through 6, and Psalms 27:14. God is with you today. Heed his warning, my sister. Heed his warning, my sister and brother. Stop getting ahead of him. Shalom.